What are you even thinking? That's the kind of questions I asked myself about a year ago. Have you ever had a season that you've walked through where you felt like God was leading you to do something different? And I mean something different that you never would have even imagined you stepping into. Well, I have a story that I want to share with you. Hey y'all, so I just got off work and thought it might be fun to take you guys with me as I get ready for a professional photography session today. This will be the first time doing something like this, but since I started a business last year and things are really starting to take off, I thought it might be good to get some new photos so that I can do it for branding and on my website and everything. So yeah, thought I'd just take you along for the ride. And during this, I'm going to do a voiceover where I share my testimony on how Eden's Corner came to be. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Welcome back. If you are a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support. It truly has been an encouragement to me. And if you're new here, hey, my name is Sarah, and this is Eden's Corner, and I am glad you all are here. So let's jump right in. Back in February of 2025, I left a role that I was in the medical field. But you know, this actually started the few years leading up to that point. You see, I've been in medical for over 10 years now, and it's been great. I've had great opportunities of growth and learning, but I just started to get this feeling that there's got to be something more to life, that I was missing something. Do you know what I mean? I started to get burned out in medical and I needed a change. And during all of that, I started seeing people on YouTube talk about getting side hustles. Well, I've worked 2 jobs for quite a bit of my 20s, and I just didn't want to pick up another job. You know, I was already feeling burned out and tired, and I just didn't want to have to put another thing on my plate. My husband and I were also very active in our church and serving. And so on top of, having a social life, and it just becomes a lot sometimes. So I just didn't want to add anything else to my plate. Well, after those few years, it began to affect my mental and emotional health. And after a lot of prayer and talking with my husband, we both agreed that it was time to step away from the medical field, and I was gonna look for something else and try something new. So February of 2025, I left my role in the medical field with planned intentions of taking a couple months off. Now, during my time off, I made sure to be intentional about the things that I was doing during that time. Yeah, I had a few days where I would veg out and just lay around, but most of the time I really made it a point to spend extra time with the Lord in prayer and in worship. And at the beginning of March, I woke up in the middle of the night with a song in my heart. And that's a big deal because music has always been so important to me. It's the way that I relate to the world. It's how I deal and process emotions through music. I don't know if you can relate to that, but even before I gave my life to Christ, music was always important to me. And it is even more important now that I follow the Lord. And there are times that God will wake me up with a song in my heart or on my mind, and He'll speak to me through it. Well, I woke up with this song in my heart, and it's called Make a Move by Royal Taylor. And what's crazy is I haven't heard this song in years, and I knew every word that came up. So I immediately typed the lyrics out in my phone, and then I went to lay back down to go to sleep. But then the words Eden's Corner came into my mind, and I knew, y'all, I feel like the Lord impressed it on me that this would be the name of a YouTube channel that I would start. So I added those notes to my phone as well. I prayed over it and then I went back to sleep. And as you might expect, the next morning, I went and started looking up videos on how to even start a YouTube channel. And I feel like I found some pretty good information out there. And so March 7th, 2025, the YouTube channel for Eden's Corner was started. But I wish I could say that I was obedient right from the start. You see, I really wasn't, and it wouldn't be for another month until I get my first video up there. And it wasn't for a lack of planning. Really, the issue was that I was struggling with a lot of doubt, fear, and insecurity, which I found out is pretty common at the start of this kind of change. But with creating a YouTube channel, I really struggled with, what are other people going to think and say? I've seen those negative comments in other channels and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can handle that, how am I going to look and sound on camera? I just struggled with a lot of this. And so it kept me from even getting that first one out there. But Lord willing, April 8th, 2025, my first video went live. And then April through December felt like a whirlwind. I started learning how to talk to the camera. And this was so uncomfortable for me and still is. I'm sure y'all could tell in my videos, but this is taking some getting used to for sure. But I also started learning how to edit videos and the different programs that are out there, and started learning about graphic design. And actually, my best friend told me about a program where when you registered, you could take courses for free for the first year. So I was able to take a graphic design essentials course and learn about that, which helped me so much in what I was putting my hand to. And I also started creating journals and devotional workbooks that I could learn how to use Canva and also put them onto Amazon to sell. And it was so much learning. And during that time, my husband and I, we prayed and were in agreement that this is what the Lord was leading us to do. And you guys, I was getting deals on programs. I wasn't out spending hundreds of dollars on this stuff. Keep that in mind. I didn't have the money to spend like that. So I had to use the free software and tools that were available to me then. So I didn't even start paying for anything until later on. And during all of this time, I really started to develop a passion for video editing. And what I really love about it is piecing bits and pieces together and creating a story. I love the storytelling aspect of it. And this really started to become a creative outlet for me. And I really wanted to start working with churches and ministries and other small businesses that wanted help with their video editing and even content creation. And so I believe that's what the Lord was having me set out to do, to create a business. And that's where Eden's Corner Digital Creations came to be. And we formed an LLC in July of 2025, where I help others create interior and exterior layouts for their books. I can help with video editing and content creation and a host of other things as well. And this YouTube channel is a huge part of it. It's not going to just be business focused, but I do have a heart to build up the body of Christ. I have a heart for the lost, but how many of you know that there's many in the body that are lost too today? And I want to edify and build up the church. So that's what I want to use this channel for, is showing how to live a life with Christ in this world and yet stay faithful to Him. Because we see people left and right dropping like flies. So let's be different and be faithful to the Lord. Now, I wish I could say that everything lived happily ever after, and This is what I'm doing full time, but in reality, it's not. I actually started looking for a job, and in that, it took a few months to actually find another place of work, even amidst the many different places I applied to, places that I was qualified for, overqualified, underqualified, and everything just kept coming back with a no. And I know now that that's because the Lord was closing those doors. Well, October 1st, I actually signed on with, you guessed it, another medical field company. It's a physical therapy office where I do billing and coding as well as authorizations for their different offices. The crazy thing is, they just started that role a week before I actually found their job listing, and it was part-time. If you're in medical and you've been looking for jobs in medical, you know it's hard to find part-time roles in the medical field. So it was part-time, and I started working there in October, where I work the beginning part of the day with them, and then I come home, and in the afternoon I work on Eden's Corner. And that's still what I do to this day. So my time is split between the two, which is why things started to slow down on this channel. I feel like the Lord told me to pause on it. And you guys, that was so hard because there was so much momentum being gained, and it just felt like everything came to a dead stop. And I felt like it was slipping out of my fingers. And that was really hard to walk through. But I believed deep down that even though what things looked like around me, it wasn't going to stay here. I truly believed that God was going to bring this to pass. He wouldn't have given it to me just to let it fall like that. So I took a break and was able to focus on the company I was with and getting in there and helping them clean some stuff up and create a process for their authorizations. And I needed that to be able to focus solely on that at the time. But praise God, y'all, Proverbs 3:5-6 says to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. I trusted in God despite what it looked like. And God directed my steps. He directed me to this medical office where I could work part-time doing something that I pretty much know like the back of my hand. So it didn't take much once I got in and learned their system. Now it's just like, okay, pushing it out because I know it so well. So that I would have the extra capacity to learn the things I'm learning now with Eden's Corner in the afternoons and on the weekends. But what I want to say with the verse in Proverbs is, as long as you're seeking the Lord, you're diligent in seeking Him, He's going to make sure you're going on the right path. Seek Him, listen for His voice, and regardless of how things look or change, trust that He's got you. And also be open to His course correction and changes. Because I can sit here and tell you now, even though I'm still very much in the beginning of this process, I can tell you that if I didn't follow through with allowing Him to lead me as He did, I wouldn't have the business. I wouldn't be doing the things within it that I can help people with. And also, these videos that are now going to start coming out more wouldn't be here either. But because I sought Him, I listened for His voice, and even though things didn't quite seem like what I thought they were going to turn out to be, I still obeyed when He told me to. Well, December comes around and I start getting my first couple of clients. They're one-time clients, but I got to help them with some creative projects and It was great because I got to learn how to work with clients, as well as how to put together price sheets and just a host of other things that were helpful for those moments. And of course, I continued to pray and ask the Lord just for more clients and more work. And at the beginning of 2026, I got my first recurring client. It's for a ministry that's down in Texas. So it's been such a great experience working with them for the past few months and getting to just partner with them on their projects. And of course, I'm praying and believing that the Lord will bring more work, but it's so cool just getting to see the growth. Okay, you guys, so this is what I'm thinking for my outfits. I've got 3 outfits here. This red dress I'm actually thinking about wearing to the park, and hopefully there will be bathrooms or something to change in. If not, I guess it's going to be in my car, so we'll see how that goes. But then I also have this blue top, which is what's in my profile picture now, which is great because one of the main colors in my logo is blue. And then also classic black and blue jeans always looks good. And I've got some sandals as well that I might bring. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I'm just going to bring several different things, and these are the outfits that I feel the most comfortable and confident in. So we're going to go with that. Well, I think I've got everything that I may need for this. So here we go. So my friend is the one that's going to be doing the pictures, and she actually used to take pictures professionally, so she agreed to meet with me today. And y'all, it is beautiful out here today. Like the high is like 74 degrees. There's a good breeze and just sunny, not cloudy. It just looks beautiful. If you've been feeling like the Lord has been stirring something up in you, whatever that is, it doesn't even have to be starting a YouTube channel or starting a new job, but whatever it is for you, step out in faith. The Lord will not always tell us the end from the beginning when He gives us instructions. He'll give us one step, and we just need to take that step. We got to have that faith like Peter when he jumped out of that boat to walk on the water to Jesus. We just got to be willing. God can use a willing heart, a willing vessel. Is that going to be you today? One more thing before we move on. I want you to know that this was so awkward for me. Again, I've not done anything like this before, and I don't know. I prefer being behind the scenes, honestly. But hey, the Lord is stretching me and doing new things. So comment down below if you are feeling like God is instructing you to do something new, whether it's a new job, maybe it's changing some things in your health, whether it's changing things in your finances, going back to school, or even being faithful in what He's already told you to do. Comment down below, because it's so encouraging to me and to others knowing that we're not alone in this. And the Lord is guiding each and every one of us.